Sustainable farming offers opportunities for people from all walks of life to move back to the land to produce food and fiber for others. Thomas Edison said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." When Mark Sanford suffered a serious accident that left him unable to work as a builder, he and his wife, Amie Mongeau, and her brother, Martin Mongeau, put on their overalls and got to work and decided that sustainable farming offered an opportunity to not only change their careers, but to change their lives as well.
He had an accident at work. He fell through a stairwell and 10 feet down and sustained nerve damage, and he was in the hospital and in rehab for quite a while. And when he got out of rehab, the workers' comp and our doctors said, you need to start thinking about something else. And their suggestions were just ridiculous. He just exploded one day because they said, well, you could work at like a kiosk at the mall, like at Mrs. Fields. And he's just not that kind of person anyway. He just has to be doing something. And, he probably could have sat comfortably on the porch at our old house and, collected his workers' comp check, and, it would have been horrible. So he grew up on a horse farm in Saline and had always wanted to go back to farming, and he just came out of the blue with this organic farming thing. And so we started to research it.
Amie's past careers as a restaurant worker, attorney, daycare operator, and caterer provided a unique set of skills that complemented Mark's skills as a builder and farmer.
I was trained to learn how to research and to find information and process the information and how to meet people and how to talk to people. And all of that has come into this, as well as my food background.
The next step was to find a place to farm.
When we bought this place, me and Ames, we looked for about a year, and we just drove around, and finally we found this place. And the first thing I noticed, this is low ground, and this is really good soil. This is really, really good soil.
Amie and Mark lived in the barn while they prepared an acre of ground to grow crops on their 20 acres. But Mark only knew how to farm conventionally, so he became certified in organic gardening through a program at the local community college.
It was really helpful with, what to use for pest control, and, we just had a rust virus fungus on our beans, so, we knew what to do with it.
Although Two Creeks Organics maintains high standards for growing vegetables and raising poultry without using chemicals, they opted to certify the farm as certified naturally grown rather than obtain the more expensive and paperwork-intensive USDA organic certification.
You fill out an online form that asks questions about your practices, about how you deal with problems with your crops, how just all kinds of questions about your growing practices in your farm and what you grow. And then you have to have, within a year, you have to have another farmer, hopefully from your area, come out and inspect your farm. And they have a form online that they use to inspect your farm. And then they just submit that to CNG.
Amie spoke with other organic farmers, and they all told her that the first thing she must do is to develop a website and get it listed on localharvest.org, a networking website that links people looking for sustainably grown food with local growers.
So that's what we did, and people found us. And right now we have a wait list for next year. So it's amazing. I mean, people are out there looking.
Gretchen's houses are locally owned and operated progressive child care centers in the Ann Arbor, Michigan area. They were one of the first members of the CSA who found Two Creeks Organics on the localharvest.com website.
They wanted to start having more local food, more naturally grown food, and they were looking into organic milk and all of that to feed the children that come. It was wonderful that we got a hold of each other, and as well as providing produce, the kids come out 3 times a year and kind of see how the farm works, and they see how things grow. They planted a pumpkin seeds on their first visit, and I've been sending them pictures all along. And they're coming out next week, and they'll see how their pumpkins have grown and how the chickens have grown, and you know that the fields look totally different. When they came in the spring, there were just a few radishes and some lettuce, and now it's just there's tons of produce. So they'll see how things change. There was how the grass grows up, the hay grows up, and the flowers and all of that.
In addition to marketing through their website, Amie maintains a presence at the local farmers market.
We distribute our shares at the farmers market, and I also have some natural dog treats that I sell, and we sell our chicken. But I see a lot of the people. There's another group who has a CSA at the Zingerman's market that we do, and by the end of the day, a lot of their produce that sits out in the 80, 90 degree sun is wilted and looks really bad, and there's not a lot that you can do with it at that point. I mean, it's not even like you can donate it to food gatherers or anybody because it's pretty much gone. So I think a lot of smaller farms are going to be turning to the CSAs because it's a really, really good way to know what you're selling and how much you're selling, and that that you're going to have a solid income.
Thanks to their hard work on the farm and successful marketing strategy, Two Creeks Organics, in their second year of operation, sells sustainably grown food to 54 members in 3 of the Gretchen's houses. Yet in spite of their beginners' good luck, they find that farming still comes with risks.
This year was really, our spring crops were really slow. So we started out just with a few bags of lettuce, and it was very disappointing for people who had never been in a CSA to have their first season be one where you find out about the risks of farming. And it was hard to explain to some of those people that it's not a farmer's market, that you get what we get. And if you're disappointed, think how disappointed we are, because this is what we do. And last year we didn't have a lot of time with our crops, but they seemed to grow better without our attention. They just went crazy. So this year we kind of were in a little shock because we had problems at the beginning. Now we're starting to really, it's into the real bountiful kind of season. So
Amie, Mark, and Martin have demonstrated that sustainable farming and running a CSA is risky business and very hard work. So what keeps them going?
It just, every day you wake up, it's beautiful. It's just, you can cut that out.
Well, you gotta cut that. Yeah. You want to be a farmer, days are long. The sun comes up and the sun doesn't go. But if you want, the rain will fall. And you praise to God it all.